Hello everyone! In this video, I'll be sharing my very first artwork that I created for this year. I'll also share my thought process about how I created it, as well as to give you more context about how I created this in Blender and finishing off with Photoshop. I started off in Blender by modeling a dead tree. I found Critical Giant's tutorial about creating a stylistic tree in Blender, and I was interested in the process of creating it. The idea of the tutorial is that I can create a stylistic tree by extruding a single vertex and branching the vertices, forming into a figure of the tree. In the tutorial itself, there were several modifiers used in creating the model. It uses skin modifier to form the roots, trunk and branches, subdivision modifier to smoothen them out, an array modifier which was to duplicate the tree and the branches. While having these modifiers, I created adjustments on the trunk and the branches, as well as extruding the bottom part to create the roots of the tree. I added simple deform modifier to make the tree more natural, to distort the branches and structure of the tree to make it even look more of a tree than a stiff one. After modeling the tree, it was time to add texture and other necessary adjustments to the tree. And after adding the texture, I added the light source and placed it accordingly to render it and export as a PNG for me to use in Photoshop. In Photoshop, I started building up the background by using a brush to fill in colors and adding the texture. I inverted the mask and set the flow to around 10% to reveal the gradual texture. I then added the 3D modeling of the tree and adjusted accordingly to fit in the scene, just like what I envisioned in the sketch. I also added a few more textures on the ground and did adjustments, as well as coloring the entire scene using the gradient map filter. After several adjustments to colors and finding another set of images to use in the background, I finally added the foreground subject as well as the other main subject into the canvas. The tree was kind of dry to look at, so I added another texture so it doesn't look boring. On this part, the background wasn't as interesting as I initially thought, so I gathered some sky photos and experimented with them to get the result that you'll see in the final output. And on the final part, I began to add shadows and highlights and applying adjustments and color grading towards the final output. Here is the final output. I'm pretty excited with the result that I made, and I look forward to create a series of artworks in this year. If you like my video, make sure to like and subscribe and hit the bell. Also, check out this playlist of my other videos to watch them and watch the tutorial that I followed in another video. I'll see you guys in the next video.